Sipadan. Often named as one of the best diving destinations in the world. For a Malaysian living in Kuala Lumpur, it was only a short flight away. So, in December of 2021, I finally boarded that flight. After a 3-hour flight from KL to Tawau, Kevin, Christine, Adrian and I hopped onto a van that we arranged via Scuba Junkie, one of the top diving companies operating in Sipadan. After a quick stop in the fishing town of Semporna, we got on a speedboat to Mabu Island. 20 minutes later, we arrived at the Mabu Beach Resort, run by Scuba Junkie, where we would be staying for an entire week. For those of you who are unaware, while Sipadan is notable as a world-famous diving destination, you can't actually stay on the island. Furthermore, permits to dive at Sipadan are limited, so divers spend most of their trip hitting up Kapalai and Mabu dive sites, which was exactly what we did. While we stayed at the Mabu Beach Resort, we were situated right next to the fishing village, made up of a vibrant community of local sea nomads, also known as the Bajau Laut. One of my regrets from this trip is that I didn't make the journey into the village, something which I will definitely rectify the next time I'm back. So we're just done with our second day of dives over here at Mabu. Well, for the other 3, I am doing a night dive. Hopefully I see a lot of cool stuff that will convince them to join me for another one before we head back to KL. Night diving is fast becoming my favorite way to dive. There are a lot of fascinating marine creatures that are only active at night, especially cephalopods such as squids, cuttlefishes, and octopuses. That thing you see here is a crab. That's also a crab. And that's also a crab. A few days later, I managed to convince Christine to join me for another night dive. We ended up taking photos and videos of, you guessed it, more crabs. That's also a crab. I also managed to find 2 different bobtail squid, currently my favourite underwater critter to spot. With a size of around 3 centimeters, they're tiny and so darn cute, and I think I accidentally pissed one of them off.
That's Kevin's bed, and this is mine.
So when I first came into this room, I thought all four of us would be sleeping inside here. I'm like, wait, are they going to give us a mattress for the floor? Then Kevin was like, no, two of them sleeping on the other room. This is what you get for spending a lot more compared to like Perhentian and Tioman trips. Because I'm wet, so this is the only way I can chill before the next dive.
On top of a spacious room complete with a hammock, staying at the Mabu Beach Resort meant that all your meals are covered. They also purchase their food from sustainable sources, which meant that fish and other seafood are off the menu, as they are unable to source those sustainably on Mabu. We're not complaining though, because we often found ourselves going back for seconds. Finally, the moment I've been waiting for. We managed to secure ourselves 2 days of diving at Sipadan. But before diving, we first had to make a stop on the island to register for the day. 20 years ago, the island was filled with resorts, but to conserve the delicate ecosystem of Sipadan, the only permanent settlement now is a military outpost, in addition to amenities for divers to rest between dives. What makes Sipadan so different from the other dive destinations I've been to is the variety of sea creatures found here that are rarely found elsewhere. Top on most divers' bucket lists is of course sighting a tornado of chevron barracuda. We were extremely lucky as our dive guide Simon was able to find the school during our very first dive at Sipadan, and it was glorious. We would have spent more time there, but the current was a little strong, and out of nowhere, divers from another company wedged themselves between us and the barracuda. Bummer. During another dive, while we were out in the blue, we spotted devil rays, a smaller cousin of the manta ray. We saw a number of sharks too. This one's a grey reef shark. And here's a white-tipped reef shark. Besides the barracuda from earlier, we also saw a massive school of jackfish, bumphead parrotfish, and many other species that I've seen before, but never in such large numbers. And not forgetting, so many turtles. Specifically hawksbill and green turtles. While Sipadan is great for spotting larger marine life, Mabu and Kapalai are great for macro diving. And it's called macro because you often need a macro lens to properly capture these tiny creatures. Of course, no dive trip is complete if you didn't find Nemo. Honestly, I felt like I've only begun to experience what Sipadan had to offer. there were still creatures on my checklist that I have yet to strike off. I'll definitely be back. In fact, I've already put down a deposit for my next trip. Meanwhile, in the 3 months it took me to edit and upload this video, Kevin and Christine have returned to Mabu for more diving. Twice. For me, well, I'll just have to wait.
Cause I'm leaving Mabu Island. I don't know if I'll be back again. Oh,
thanks for watching, party people. Hit the like button and consider subscribing. Bye!